His Bosch. Is it Bosch? Bosch.
Bosch.
Bosch. Bosch. Bosch. Bosch.
Am I starting? Yes.
Yes, sir. We're starting. Gotta be starting something. Make every cost.
Every business.
Why did you switch off the lights? As for a different show. Studio, 4 seconds. Here we go. Studio now. And Lagos, you are welcome inside the locker room. It is a full house, and trust me, the conversation from before sports was not about sports. I don't know where you can catch that little exchange there, but maybe we'll have it up on our social media and let you know before the end of the show. But it was very, very interesting, wasn't it, Ayo?
It was interesting, and okay, we won't bring it on air. Just watch our social media page. We won't take any stories this morning, but you're most welcome. We have with us in the studio the one, the only Tega Supreme.
Good morning, Lagos.
Take a tiger.
Tega is looking good this morning, and if you want to see,
I look good every morning.
You look,
Especially
this morning. If you want to see what she looks like today, go onto our YouTube channel right away. Subscribe to our channel, Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Also, we have another man who's looking good after a good haircut, of course.
No. He calls it makeup.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Male makeup. It is.
It's
Good morning.
Tope Cole, morning Tope.
Yes, and we should thank Eve for taking
Listen, don't bring that into the locker room. Let it stay outside. I beg of you. All right. So Lagos, you know how to send in your messages if you want us to read it here. It is 08094440991 or on WhatsApp. We're also streaming live on social media. That's on YouTube. So join us on there as well and leave a comment. So let's get into it, shall we, Tega? All right. So Chris Bosch is not hiding his frustration about not being a finalist for this year's enrichment class for the Basketball Hall of Fame. Now, the former Miami and Toronto forward released a video statement on social media on Tuesday, that was yesterday, using some version of the word disappoint, be it disappointed, disappointment, or disappointing, no fewer than 15 times in 5 minutes. So he's obviously disappointed. That's one thing for sure. If there was another word that was within his vocabulary, maybe he would have used it. But yeah, we kept on hearing that.
No, yeah, he just kept saying, "I'm disappointed." People say I should wait till next year. What if there is no next year? I'm like, wait, did you and Jesus have it off? I didn't understand it. What if there's no next year? Why do I have to wait till next year? Oh, the next year. And I understand why he's angry, because the likes of Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett also made the list. So he's saying, if those people made the list, then it's not about the time I retired. I should also make the list. Here's what was tricky. Kobe Bryant wasn't supposed to be inducted in the Hall of Fame now, because he's still classified as recently retired. But he passed on. What will you do if you were the righteous? You will name him in the Hall of Fame. And so because of that, because Kobe Bryant now made the list, Tim Duncan now made the list, Kevin Garnett was already there. In the scheme of voting, he was shoved out. No. So he has the numbers. Don't get me wrong. Chris Bosh has the numbers to be in the Hall of Fame. However, because of this emergency, what should I say, inductee, he was dropped. And I understand why he keeps feeling like, why didn't they drop Kevin Garnett? Why are they dropping me? I understand how angry you can be. But he did, for me, him coming out to say this, he's always going to be in the Hall of Fame.
But it was a voting system.
Yeah, but no, he was already supposed to go in Hall of Fame. Okay. But unfortunately, somebody has come in and they had to take out somebody that with the least amount of votes. So he made the list. Sorry, how they do it in university? He made the preliminary list, but the dean's list came out, so some people had to drop out. I don't know.
But I don't blame him for asking what if tomorrow doesn't happen. Recently, we lost Kobe Bryant.
But he
on
will
the back
still
of
be
that,
inducted.
Tega's so
He'd
great.
love to be inducted when he's alive.
Come on, man. Grab die first before you
I
recognize
understand
me.
what you mean, but you see, there was, like I said, it was an emergency induction.
Yeah.
So he's nobody's stopping. Next year, guaranteed. Do you understand? Anytime guaranteed. Like he's a Hall of Famer. It's a question of when are we doing the party.
Yeah, but do you think it's sorry? Before we go on to the next one, do you think it's was a bit small of him not to be gracious enough for?
I don't. If I had the one I would mention, I don't think Tim Duncan would have mentioned it.
Exactly.
I don't think Kevin
Because
Garnett
Kobe
would have
Bryant
mentioned
that
it.
replaced you.
I just think Chris was just saying
I don't think he was angry at the fact that Kobe Bryant
it was there. I know. I think his name was removed.
Yeah, but
before-
indirectly, it was because his name was removed for Kobe Bryant.
I don't think he's angry that it was Kobe
It
Bryant. I
wasn't
think
Kobe
it was that I'm the one that is
yeah.
who has
And
to
people
come up.
react
Anybody-
differently.
Yeah,
to
so
situations,
situations. I don't. If it's Tim Duncan will be like, I'm a great guy. I won NBA championships. Some people would be a little different. I don't think Dwayne Wade will come out and complain. I mean, he's just recently retired, so he doesn't even qualify. But if he did and he was removed, I don't think he would say this as
Sorry,
much as he
Chris
thought.
Bosh.
But Chris Bosh next year.
Next
And
year.
next year we come.
Amen.
And you'll be alive.
And you'll be alive.
All right, so we go on to Deontay Wilder's points win in Las Vegas being impossible. Tyson Fury says the points defeat against Deontay Wilder is impossible as his style of boxing suits Las Vegas. Fury said that slick style works and the judges here like that. Wilder can't beat me on points. It's not possible. This
Famous
is Las
last
Vegas,
words.
not Los Angeles.
I like the no. He's saying what he knows based on their fighting style. If his point, Fury is a master boxer. He knows how to get the punches. He knows how to evade the punches. If he's knockout, he knows that Wilder will beat him. But he's saying that if this thing goes to 12 rounds and it has to come down to the point decision, I'm going to win it. And I cannot disagree with him based on their fighting style. Wilder is the kind of guy that he has a strong jaw, number one. He has no finesse. He's just an agbero that can throw punches.
Like the Hulk.
But he times his punches. And he's looking for that knockout punch that will make you sleep. So he times his punches. He doesn't have any finesse when it comes to leg work or when it comes to punch selection. He doesn't have all of that. What he knows is that he will bide his time and then he will throw. Fury knows how to build up into a fight. And he knows where his jabs would leave your defense open, and then he can get the good knockout punch in. So Fury on points, if you ask me, if he goes to 12 rounds and it's on points, is most likely that Fury will win. So Fury is right on that. However, I'm not sure that Wilder is going to allow this thing to go on points, because even Wilder knows all these statistics. Wilder is just going to look for his opening. The last time they met, he floored Fury. Unfortunately, Fury was strong enough to stand up and then continue the fight. But he wants to floor him in such a way that if I floor you like this, the referee plus the doctors on the side of the ring, they will end the fight immediately. So Wilder is not waiting for points to be counted. He doesn't want judge to
So
give
you're
us.
going by way of points.
Which could actually lead him to be reckless.
yeah.
because he would just go all out for the knockouts. And Tyson Fury is faster. And he also knows that if it goes the whole 12 rounds, just the way the first fight went, he's going to outpunch him based on points.
Yeah.
That's why Deontay Wilder actually needs a knockout.
Who's got the most stamina? However,
Fury to me.
Fury.
I think Wilder. I will say Wilder because I know he has taken some punches that I've not seen people.
And people kind of forget that Tyson Fury is also unbeaten.
He's still unbeaten.
in his
Same
career.
thing with Wilder.
With Wilder, yeah.
So.
All right, so we have comments on WhatsApp. Bosun is saying that, of course, you look good, Tega. Valentine was really nice to you. I wonder how he knows that. And then Chris, this one's from Sukomi. Sukomi says, Aya's right, thank you. Chris Bosh's outburst is juvenile and infantile. Under the current cloud of grief that has enveloped the basketball fraternity, he should have been gracious. Name dropping people who were named on the list makes him look very small. He should get a grip.
Suki, by the way, how you been? He used to be on Freshly Pressed, by the way.
Oh,
Yes.
thanks. Oh, that's nice
Sukomi.
one. Good to hear from you, Suki.
Be nice now.
All right, let's move on. Next story here. So, Paris Saint-Germain star Neymar criticized how the club delayed his return from a rib injury and said he could have played sooner to improve his physical condition. I don't know. Does playing sooner actually help you improve your physical condition, or do you have to heal first? A quote here says, "It was not how I imagined it would get. I didn't play in the last 4 games. It was a PSG decision by club doctors," Neymar said after the match was over. Unfortunately, I had to accept that, and I did not like what they proposed to me. But the club is in charge, unfortunately. But that ends up being bad for me and my teammates.
And you can't blame the club doctors for actually doing that and taking that precaution, because Neymar is a very, very injury-prone player.
It's also very expensive.
Very expensive also, and he kind of always times his injury, whether deliberately or not deliberately, to his sister's birthday every season in, season out. For I think the last 4-5 seasons, he's always been injured during his sister's birthday, and we all know how close he and his sister is, But the thing is, Neymar, whether or not the delay of having him come back from his injury would have affected PSG positively or negatively, I don't know. The way he played last night, he wasn't too brilliant. Of course, PSG lost to Dortmund when they played. He got the goal thanks to Mbappe's brilliance. But for Neymar, I think he should actually follow the PSG doctors, and they are the ones on the medical field, and they are taking appropriate precaution.
Do you understand? I don't understand why he says. I mean, it was a rib injury. Do you know what it is to have a fractured rib? He said, I can play through the pain. The doctor is not thinking of how you play through the pain. The doctor is thinking that if somebody mistakenly shoves you, and people always shove you because you're trying to dribble people and their generation.
There's a bullseye on his back.
Thank you. So if people shove you anyhow, it can just go from one fracture to something else. So they're right to take the precaution. I understand you saying that maybe you're not in full fitness, but you can, in the next few weeks, you'll be in full form. Go and revenge. Do you understand what
is that why it was passive last night?
I don't think he was fully. I totally agree that if he had more playing time before the game, he would have played a little better. But you were not fit enough to play before the game. So stop saying the doctors. That's what the doctors are there for. The doctors are there to prescribe and propose to the club, and the club, you are their assets.
Yeah.
What's that they say? Blame it on the rain.
Yeah, they brought the money. They don't want you to be injured when they need you. They have the PSG have 1 goal. It's just 2-1. This tie can be overturned if he's fit, scores a couple of goals. Yeah. Mbappe gets angry that Haaland is the new kid on the block and decides that he wants to remain the kid on the block and scores a couple of goals, and the tie is over. So the match is not yet done. They still have a shoe in. Why are you complaining?
Away goal is as good as 2 goals.
Away goal is as good, yeah.
True. All right, Diego Kingston on WhatsApp says Deontay Wilder is supposed to be in charge of a bus stop in Mushin. That guy, guys. All right, so we have from LaLiga that they allow Barca to make emergency striker signing. Spain's footballing authorities have given Barcelona the green light to make an emergency signing after confirming forward Ousmane Dembele will miss at least the next 6 months with a hamstring issue. Barca now have a 15-day period in which they can sign a replacement, despite the European transfer window being closed.
I make that 13 days because they had the 15 days from Monday.
Oh, right.
And right now, people are calling Barca UEFA Luna, The thing is, that rule applies to everybody in La Liga. Once you have 2 players that are going to be out for as much as 5 months, then you can make an emergency signing. And I understand that they are looking at a Leganés player to sign right now. The thing is, the Leganés themselves at the club side will not be allowed to get a replacement for their player. If I was any other La Liga side, I won't sell my player to Barcelona. The thing is, they may need the money though, but that's advantage to your opponents. Why would I want to sell my player to?
But they're not in competition now. The competition for the La Liga is Real Madrid now. So Real Madrid should not sell, but other people should sell. What I would say is, so because the rule restricts them to buying a La Liga player, or a free agent.
Yeah.
Hi, Odio Igalo, maybe you signed too soon.
True.
But imagine playing for Barcelona.
Wow.
He was not a free agent though, but hey.
I think you'd have preferred Manchester United. Because he has always dreamt about playing for Manchester United.
It's just so, but they have to sign a free agent or a La Liga player. If I'm Liga, I'll sell Joe.
And the player will not be eligible to play in Champions League because that will be unfair to every other
so
team.
that's what I say. UEFA Nona, that player that they sign will not be eligible to play in UEFA Champions League. So there's no UEFA Lona.
All these rules.
Yeah. But if I the La Liga board, I won't even let them sign because they're the ones that, knowing that Luis Suarez was out for 6 months, they sold Carlos Perez to Roma.
Yeah.
So that was their option. Now they are player short because of bad management, and I'm supposed to reward you with an emergency striker. If I La Liga, I'll be like,
do you think other leagues should imbibe this though? I think it's a good idea.
It's a very good one.
Because in English Premier League, a lot of clubs are actually hit by so many injuries.
If it were just injuries, I'd say this. But they loaned out so many players. They loaned out. Alenia left in this window. This is the same window.
Paco also left.
Please. I'm not giving them extra players.
Tega, we have plenty of time to talk when we'll come back. Do we want to read a message? Do we have any messages?
Well, Mazino, Ima is saying hello to you.
Hey.
Really happy to hear your voice this
Thank
morning.
you very much.
And then we have from Olufemi Motayo, how Tyson Fury got up from the knockdown in the last bout remains a mystery. I still believe he's a better boxer to Wilder, bar the total knockout.
No shia. We'll be right back.
98.1.
Okay.
All right, this is Banter Better, yeah?
Yep.
Please introduce the segment.
Okay.
Today Premier League game won't start. Players don't ready. The coach said don't ready. But you, yes, you don't ready. So because once the match starts,
I never get that all the time. They've all won now. So they get in the way. So
now ask yourself, you don't ready for banter? I think you won't make your club carry last. We are tight today. Waka enter shop. Buy cheap bottle of Coca-Cola. Take on your side. Make you dey fresh to banter better. Banter better with Coca-Cola, the official soft drink partner of the English Premier League.
And it is a problem
Is it close enough?
what's happening?
This segment is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official sponsor of the English Premier League. Banter better
With
The
Coca-Cola.
first story, Maguire.
All right, we're back in. What's happening?
So she's
Alright.
doing a story.
Okay, studio. Here we go.
It's Locker Room 981 here on Smooth 98.1. Ayo and Mazino here for this one. And Tega and Tope Cole in the studio. Now, before the break, we shared some stories around La Liga and, of course, boxing and in the NBA. We're moving on to Banter Better with Coca-Cola. So this segment of the show is sponsored by Coca-Cola. And it's simply this. Get out all your ammunition. Some have already been released by Diego Kingston and Mazino, first half. So please bring your gloves out and it's ready to battle. However, we battle fair. So fair play, please. No discriminatory words. Do not insult anyone. Don't
hit below the belt.
Yeah. Oh, that's see, Mazino. All right. So if you want to send your messages through, you must use the hashtag Banter Better with Coca-Cola. Send to WhatsApp 0809444091 or on Twitter at Smooth981FM using the hashtag LockerRoom981 and of course hashtag Banter Better with Coca-Cola.
Alrighty, basketballs, let's go. So Maguire should have seen red, says Lampard. Maguire should have been sent off. Lampard told British media. He said that's clear, and that obviously changes the game. Decisions like that are crucial. He added that's a major part of what VAR was brought in for. The second viewing, different angles. Why they aren't looking at the monitor? It should be used. He's obviously very, very, very angry.
Yeah, not the first time. Probably will not be the last time we're going to blame VAR again this season. I mean, this was the same referee. I'm not blaming the referee at all because VAR should have helped him make the decision. But this was the same referee that gave Son Heung-min a red card for the same kick out that he had earlier on in the season. Same thing happened this time on the sideline, and he went to VAR because obviously he didn't see it. And VAR thought, after checking out all the angles, that it was not a red card offense.
Is VAR
I
absolute?
do not understand. In the English Premier League, VAR is not absolute because they leave the final decision to the on-pitch referee. But if the referee did not see it, then it goes to the VAR, and they do not like to challenge each other. If VAR says this is what it is, instead of the referee to go to the pitch side monitor to look at it, that's happened only once this season. In how many matches? They choose to follow whatever the VAR tells them.
I don't know. I believe that VAR takes out the drama from football because you want
adds more drama. More drama.
Okay, well, because you want that. I'm waiting to worry this guy now, and there's always that conversation that goes on after every match. But with VAR, where you can just verify, okay.
They don't. It's that verification that is a problem.
But now it seems that verification has become the drama itself.
And then what people are now asking for is, okay, what you people are looking at in the VAR room, we want to see it in the stadium. Show us in the stadium. But the problem is 2 match centers in the English Premier League don't have screens. I don't know how much it takes to get a screen. Anfield and Old Trafford do not have screens. Yes, those two.
No, you should have said 2 traditional Premier League.
Exactly.
That's the problem. If it were Sheffield, and they would have told them to go and get one immediately. But these are traditional clubs.
So they won't
And they don't have screen. How much does it cost to get a screen?
I
don't
should just
get.
go the traditional way and not use VAR.
There are a lot of people actually calling for that.
True. All right. So on Twitter, we have these comments. Charles Chidozie says Neymar should obviously feels he's bigger than the club. He shouldn't be talking to the press, especially when the club has released a statement. Well, PSG got themselves into this. It's part of the package. Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola.
Right.
And then he goes on to say, and his voice, Simeone and his voice turned the 3 Liverpool Musketeers to non-existent. Whilst this was going on, Arsenal fans were wishing and praying that it was happening in the Premier League because 49 unbeaten is all that we've got.
And it will remain.
All right, let's move on to the next one. And Jurgen Klopp warns Atletico Madrid of Anfield atmosphere. It's half-time. We're 1-0 down, but we wouldn't give up at half-time. So why would we give up now? And even better, the second half will be played in a different stadium, our stadium. That will be different, and Atletico will feel that. That is what we're looking forward to. I saw a lot of happy faces from Atletico. I get that because it was a big win, but it is not over yet. According, signed, Jurgen Klopp.
Yes. So the way they have been talking about this Anfield there, and I understand what they're saying because of the fortress that Anfield is, football-wise, and then the atmosphere that Anfield brings. Look, I have Liverpool friends. Liverpool fans are my friends. They are usually the quiet, classy, going about their business type. But when they enter Anfield, there's a spritz. Not spiritual. That comes upon them. They just become very passionate. They're a different kind of person. That's what Anfield does to you, and that kind of atmosphere is the kind of atmosphere that people come in and they know they're in Anfield. Everybody singing one song. You can hear them from blocks down the street. It is such an intimidating atmosphere, and they use that as part of their football. So Atletico Madrid very happy that they gave Liverpool a shutout yesterday. I think they really executed their game plan well, but like Jurgen Klopp said, that's just first half, because these ties are played over 2 matches. That's just first half. That's 90 minutes. There's still a whole 90 minutes at Anfield. This is the Anfield where Barcelona came and they were stunned. So you come into this Anfield with your World Footballer of the Year Ballon d'Or, you drop it at the gates because it's a totally different kind of pressure that is at Anfield. And so he's right. He's telling them, you will celebrate now, clap, dance, be happy. When you come to Anfield, you will see our red eye. Literally.
Atletico should have actually scored more. 1-0 is definitely not enough to take to.
Yeah, but if they came out to score, they created a few chances, yes. But if they came out to try and score 1 goal, they'll have considered 2.
That's why they're going to top 4 at Anfield.
Right, so Ridwan is here to banter better with Coca-Cola. He says, High Court, Manchester United 4-0. That's to Chelsea. Appeal Court, Chelsea 1-2 to Man United. Supreme Court, Chelsea 0, Man United 2. Una no dey tire. Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola. Then Olufemi Motai says, having played Manchester United 3 times this season and lost all, Chelsea should better avoid the Red Devils going forward. It's currently 8-1. Haba.
What are they talking about Chelsea? We're talking about Liverpool.
Coca-Cola.
VAR has added more drama to EPL this season because the refs are now more confused and rendered them more useless. Says
Yeah.
hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola. I didn't say it, she did, or he did. Diego Kingston, hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola. Mazino on locker room. Quite strange, laugh out loud. Yeah, laugh out loud all you want. I've seen it before and I'll say it again. VAR is in England is a scam. Anyway, Lampard has hit his own blame to selecting wrong players in the wrong position. Now only English seems to be speak. Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola.
All right, we have this one from, I'll put your name please so we can read your message out. Shay says, this is Shay. Yesterday Liverpool played sexy football like Mazino's sexy boy.
Oh,
got
stop
bantered
this
by
thing.
the wounded Atletico. Maximo Neymar is now a lame man. His strength is reduced because he refused to drink Coca-Cola at least. We have to give this
And he
Shay,
cut his hair,
we
maybe.
have to give this Shay Coca-Cola. Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola. Thank you guys. Keep them coming through. We have more stories.
More stories coming up. Guardiola to stick with City despite ban. So Pep Guardiola has told friends he is going to remain as manager of Manchester City, even if the appeal against their 2-year European football ban is rejected by the Court of Arbitration for Sports, according to media reports. Now, the 49-year-old Spaniard is said to have told both the City board and also the players he will be staying despite the sanctions and reported interest from Serie A champions Juventus. That's loyalty.
All right, so I believe that they have a strong case to get the ban lifted, and of course, this might damage their chances of keeping their top players at the club. But Guardiola's show of defiance is a statement of intent. Now they'll be looking to play with West Ham today, this evening. And I think they should just keep their off-field issues aside for like 90 minutes, because maybe they will have more chances if they concentrate on their domestic field. And again, I'm not sure I'll be bothered if he left. Some of his signings haven't been the best for this season, and spine of the team doesn't look as solid as it was. So that's what I think.
When it comes to Pep, though, I want to add that he's saying that he's going to stay at Manchester City means he's not going to terminate his contract. He's going to stay till the end of his contract, and he has just 1 year left on his contract. After that 1 year, he can leave. Yeah,
He is never,
he's never terminated any
Gonzalez.
contract anywhere else.
Outta here.
And also, Raheem Sterling has also come out to say that he would stay at Manchester City following his manager's suit. So they're probably trying to ginger other players to not keep faith
I
with
think
the
it's
citizens.
psychology, like let's don't.
Mazino, there's no psychology in
But
money.
I'm telling you, there's no psychology
They'll play
in
them.
money.
Man City can
See,
play them.
Manchester City will pay. Look, Pep Guardiola, that UEFA Champions League is like a drug. He needs it.
Definitely.
Let me tell you, he's going. As I'm here like this, I cannot trust him. If they say 1 season, maybe you'll say, okay, 1 season. I'm not even sure.
No, he has said it twice that he's going to stay till the end of his
But
contract.
that's how they said
Even
twice
before
that
they
they are
banned
going
him.
to keep Unai Emery. They fired him. The same way they said that. Look, every time, think about it. Every time they've said a club says, I support my coach. They fire him the next few months.
Absolutely
This
living.
is football.
He's absolutely living as sure as Tega is 5'2".
No, 5'3", so yeah.
1 inch. It's just the shuku that makes it 3.
Let's pay a little visit to YouTube. We have a few comments there. Quadri Aderogba says Atletico should take a stroll to Barca and ask how Anfield be. The marine spirit they have in that place no be small. I see them giving Atletico bass boosts. Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola. And then Tope Cole says we agree it's Anfield, but it's also Atletico we are talking about. They should really grind all through the second leg. All right, let's move on to our next story here. Son Heung-min, Jose Mourinho expects Tottenham forward to miss rest of season. Tottenham Hotspur boss Mourinho does not expect Heung-min to play again this season and says the club's injury situation couldn't be worse.
First of all, they lose their best player, Harry Kane. Now they lose their second best player, Son Heung-min. Good enough, Jose Mourinho actually signed players in January, and one of them has hardly got playing time, talking about Getson Fernandez. I'm sure this will be the right time for him to come into his own. The man from Eredivisie has been doing pretty well, and so I think Tottenham Hotspur are definitely going to be able to cope without Son Heung-min. Getson Fernandes will just get his chance. There's this saying that if it's not bad for one person, it may not be good for another person. So that's exactly what happened right there. They're going to be playing RB Leipzig in the UEFA Champions League, which is going to be a very tough nut for them to crack because RB Leipzig have been blowing away teams in the German Bundesliga. To see how he's going to cope in that particular one, we all know that he would love to win the UEFA Champions League. He stands a better chance of winning the UEFA Champions League than getting into the top 4 in the EPL, but I'm sure Spurs will cope.
Tega, what was that? Your hand was on your head. You don't agree?
No. I'm just thinking. No hurricane, no sun. Where are the goals coming from?
Oh gosh. I love this one from Big T. Hashtag banter better Coca-Cola. Liverpool lost. I should be selling tummy medicine. I would have become a billionaire going by the number of bad belly people that were happy.
Nice.
Liverpool lost.
And this one here is a tire from Yaba. I don't know which of these ones I should read. Maybe all 3 of them. Says, okay, I'll read the last one. Barcelona and LaLiga have elements of Nigerian politics. The way they want players to cross carpet and endorsements from La Liga, like INEC, hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola.
All right, thanks a lot. We have this one. Banter better hashtag banter better Coca-Cola. Chelsea didn't do enough to win the match in 90 minutes. Odion Igalo had some chance on goal in 1 minute. Same with the whole Chelsea team in 90. Says Chris Double I.
Yep.
Diego Kingston said, need I remind Liverpool that at the moment
Atletico Madrid.
Rebus. That Atletico Madrid is not Barcelona in terms of philosophy and style of play under Diego Simeone. They'll defend with their lives. Forget it. Guardiola is leaving City. Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola.
Final one here before we call it a day. Ridwan says hashtag banter better Coca-Cola. Forget Anfield. Atletico Madrid defending a 1-goal lead is far better than Barca defending a 3-goal lead. And of course, the Scouse don't have a Ronaldo. Or the Scousers, that's Liverpool, don't have a Ronaldo.
All right, that's it then. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that was a very interesting basketball session. Thank you very much, Lagos, for being the biggest part of it. We enjoyed that one. So tune in again on Friday for another session here. Tega, thank you very much.
You're
you
welcome.
can find her at Tega Supreme. Tipsy, we don't care. I'm joking. Well,
Tipsycoool on Instagram. TIPSYCOOLL.
there you go. As for Ayo and I, we're still here, so don't worry, you'll get ours in a bit. Stay tuned. We're Smooth 98.1. It's been the locker room.
Oh, look at this one from America. America says, I just realized Lampard has lost 3 times to Ole. Look